And let's bring in ABC News contributor, national security defense analyst Mick Mulroy for more on this. So, Mick, two German fighter jets scrambled to the border of Ukraine and Romania last night as part of NATO's enhanced air policing mission. So how do those missions work? And is that framework factoring into these ongoing conversations about security guarantees for Ukraine?
So, Diane, oftentimes these drones and ballistic missiles, but specifically the drones, will take unorthodox approaches toward Ukraine, sometimes going over other countries' terrain and in their airspace. So that is likely going to happen. And then, of course, those countries are going to assist either for themselves or for their NATO allies in policing up those events. But it's going to be a very complicated endeavor to take all these nations, their militaries, integrate them together, come up with a joint chain of command, hopefully integrate U.S. air support and air and missile defense. So that's going to take a while. So they need to have that available and ready to go, including the resolution itself, so that the Ukrainian people, if and when there is an actual offer on the table from Russia, can actually know what they're agreeing to and what benefit they will get. So these things all need to happen now and not wait until the end to get put together.
Now, a defense official says Trump's top military advisor met with several European military leaders last night. What are the top priorities in these talks?
I think that is what the chairman is starting right now, talking about how this coalition of the willing would be put together, this multinational force that could enter Ukraine in the event of a ceasefire. And of course, that would be the biggest guarantee of security that the Ukrainians would see. They would see troops from these countries, many of them, or if not all of them, would be NATO countries that are on the ground in Ukraine. So if Russia decided to break the ceasefire and attack Ukraine again, they would also be attacking these forces, which are part of NATO. And that's why you can see the Russians start talking about how they're not so interested in this as an option, but it's absolutely essential to the Ukrainians to go anywhere with these negotiations to have these assurances. So I don't think Europe will allow Russia to have any kind of veto on whether they do this or not.
What do you make of Russia not yet publicly confirming that Vladimir Putin will meet with Vladimir Zelensky while the White House is insisting that he will?
So, and they've mentioned this, and I think, I don't say this often, but there's a fair point by the Russians. Normally, when principals meet, in this case, two presidents, there's a lot of preparatory meetings that go into place before they do, so they can staff it. So they actually have agreements in many areas before they actually meet, and then they can solidify this. So this is jumping straight to the principals meeting, which is a little unusual. But of course, we did that with President Trump and President Putin. So it's normal, I think, for the current scenario. But it's clear that the Russians don't want President Putin to meet President Zelensky without any kind of agreement put in place by the staff.
All right, national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy, thank you.